Now we are going to discuss about the hysteresis curve for a ferromagnetic material. First we are going to discuss about how the material behaves with respect to the applied magnetic field. Let us take a solenoid. Put as some specimen in that means some iron rod, a ferromagnetic material. When I place some ferromagnetic material in the solenoid, if I apply some magnetic field, the magnetic material, the substance gets magnetized and will become a perfect ferromagnetic nature. That means initially the material may show diamagnetic nature. As I increase the field strength, the material converts from the diamagnetic nature to the para and to the ferromagnetic behavior. Let us see the same thing with in a stepwise manner. Let me take a curve, intensity of magnetization versus applied field strength I versus H curve I am going to plot here. For this, initially the material at origin, that means at 0.0 origin, is a diamagnetic nature. The spins present in the substance are randomly distributed. They are randomly distributed. It's a diamagnetic nature. That means generally it shows a different random arrangement of spins you are going to see here. Now let us see here. Now what I am going to do is I simply start increasing the field, magnetic field, from 0 to some particular value. 0 to some particular value. Then zero to some particular value called a point A, OA, right? OA, that means up to this particular field strength, what will happen? The magnetization behavior increases. If I remove the magnetic field, the material will come back to the initial position. That means spin alignment will be retained by the material if we remove the applied field strength, right? And further increase in the field strength, the material is going to be reach a point called B. If beyond A, if I reduce the field strength, it will not come back to the initial position. So this process is called reversible domain growth, and this part is irreversible domain growth, right? Further increase in the field, then it goes to a saturation point, right? Here I have three regions. Region 1, O to A, material behaves as a reversible domain growth. A to B, irreversible domain growth, and further you are going to have B to C, saturation. This is a saturation point. Right? Now let us see the domain, how they are going to be changes here. In the first case, you are going to have domains are random in different, the spins in the domain are distributed in different directions, as I increase the field strength, what will happen? The domains which are present, the spins which are present in the domain will align into the field direction. At a particular instance, let us see in a case where A to B region, because it is not attained saturation point, still some spins are randomly distributed. So here you are going to have a paramagnetic nature. And another case, B to C, then what will happen? I increase field maximum, that means saturation point I am going to see. Here all the spins will be aligned in the field direction. Assume that this is a field direction. Then what will happen? Whatever the spins are there, they will try to align in the field direction. So this behavior is nothing but your ferromagnetic nature. Right? Now, after reaching saturation point, if we reduce the magnetic field, applying magnetic field, then if the material comes to the original path, then you can say that it is a reversible process. But generally it will not occur. Why? Because the spins which are aligned in the field direction may not come back to the initial position. So when I reduce the magnetic field, the spins, because of the alignment of the spins, they may not come back to the initial position. Instead of that, they may end at a point called this one D. This is nothing but retaining magnetic properties after removing the magnetic field. Right? Now, in order to reduce this one, we have to apply a negative field, but negative magnetic field. Right? At a particular point, the material gets demagnetized. So that point we call as a coercivity. The field which is required to vanish the magnetic nature in a material is nothing but coercivity. Further increase in the magnetic field, then it also goes to the reverse saturation. Right? Now, once it reaches the reverse saturation, further reduce the magnetic field, then it will be following the same path. This is your reverse retentivity, and further increasing this one, what will happen? You are going to have a forward saturation point. Here, this point D is called retentivity. Or remanence, retaining some magnetic properties when the applied field H is 0. That particular part we call as a retentivity. And in order to make the magnetic properties in a substance to 0, we have to apply some negative field that we call as a coercivity. Coercivity is to vanish the magnetic properties in a ferromagnetic substance. So that field which we call as a coercivity. Right? And the loop we are going to do for a cyclic process, then what will happen? You will be seeing a saturation curves here. If we do this experiment for several hundred times, the saturation point for this curve will be a fixed one. But the path followed by this particular spin alignment may vary. What are the disadvantages of this particular BH curve is, by seeing this BH curve, you can say that a given substance is a soft magnetic material or a hard magnetic material. Soft magnetic material is nothing but which you can easily magnetize and demagnetize it. Whereas for the hard magnetic materials, once if you magnetize it, it is very difficult to demagnetize. Right? So using this experiment, you are going to see that how much energy you are going to have. The total area occupied by this curve is nothing but hysteresis energy that gives you the lagging behind your applied field. Right? And based on the hysteresis energy, we are using the material for different applications.